We have some major news, and this has to do with the SafeMoon liquidity. Yes, this video is actually focused on that. We have a post here from Danology10 over on Twitter, which he highlights this transaction over on Binance. And do keep in mind that this looks to be coming from the SafeMoon deployer address. So what does this say? It says SafeMoon has reached an agreement with the party currently holding the funds. Specifically, SafeMoon has agreed to accept 80% of the amount returned, with the other party retaining the balance as a bounty. SafeMoon has further agreed not to file any legal actions against them after careful consideration of the circumstances. It is believed this is in the best interest of SafeMoon and the community. In the comments, we have a couple highlights. CryptoMint says, better than nothing. Danology responds saying, absolutely. Po Boy should have took the deal for $150,000. Danology says, well, you be my guest to convince the hacker otherwise. Holly says, Dan, who is the message from? The front runner person or SafeMoon, or could it be a complete rando? Johnny said, SafeMoon deployer account. Holly says, thanks, Johnny. I just saw that right after I asked. So, yeah, you guys can see that the transaction here, which Danology does provide the Binance Smart Chain transaction. We can see the from is the SafeMoon deployer address. So this little information that I just read to you guys, 80%. Now, would it be better if we got 100%? Of course. I would prefer if 100% came back. The fact that it's 20% that they're taking is an unfortunate circumstance, but what are the alternative options here? Trying to get law enforcement involved, trying to do an investigation, having to go through the blockchain, trying to find ways to somehow pull that money out. More than likely, what would end up happening is you'd have to go to a centralized exchange, or all the centralized exchanges blacklist that address, and then you'd have to trace all of the transactions with that. If it started going through things like, I believe it's called Tornado Cash, where they essentially move it amongst a ton of these different wallets. So 80% looking to come back. Some of the treasury funds were already used in helping to establish liquidity for SafeMoon and allowing it to come back up and be tradable. So that's been proactively going on. And then with this right here, this should definitely help moving forward. But again, I mentioned this in the past, somebody at SafeMoon, they really dropped the ball here. It's one bad thing after another, and people have been sitting around waiting for deliverables. These are the simple facts. If you're going to say that I'm fudding, you're going to say whatever, I'm telling you the actual facts. As people are waiting for the deliverables, any mistakes that come up only elevates all of that other set of concerns and frustration from people within the community. Some people still hold. For other people, it's the tipping point where they finally say they've had enough and they're moving on. And the unfortunate thing is that for some people, when they decide to move on, doesn't matter if SafeMoon does deliver things in the future. Those people have such a bad taste in their mouth, they never give it another opportunity again. And again, these are just facts. This is what happens in this space. Is it to say that every single person is going to do that? No. There will be people that actually look at it when they start delivering on these products and say, oh, they're actually doing stuff now, and they will come back. This circumstance was not a good thing. I hope we can all agree on that. The fact that this exploit happened to begin with. We could have had 100% of liquidity there. Now it looks like we're only going to have 80%. So this individual, people are calling them a white hat hacker, essentially saying like, hey, you know, they did a good thing because they were saying that they're going to be returning the funds back, but they want a 20% cut. It's a lot of money, guys. We're not talking about like it's $1,000, $100, $10,000. We're talking about a massive amount of money here. But what can you do? SafeMoon right here, what we see in this statement in regards to the deployer address says, after careful consideration of the circumstances, it is believed that this is in the best interest of SafeMoon and the community. Again, what are the other options that they have? They can only do so much, right? There's a big question that still remains. I haven't seen anyone talking about the details on it. Maybe it's too early. I don't know if we'll ever get the information on it. I'm talking about the insurance. What does that have in regards to an impact on any of this? Did SafeMoon ever fully finalize that insurance? Are they still under it? Is it helping out with this in any regards? I would love to know, and I'm sure a lot of other people would like to know too, but I don't know if SafeMoon's actually going to comment on it. The great news, the main thing I want everyone to take away from this video is that it looks like 80% of that set of liquidity will be coming back. So since this news broke a couple hours ago in the public, has it had any impact on SafeMoon itself? Let's go ahead and take a look. Over on the price charts, we're looking at this on the 15-minute time frame, and this is for the Binance Smart Chain. We can see that a little bit ago, a couple hours ago, there was a strong buy. So people looking at this news overall, seems like optimism there from an individual. And in that buy, if we scroll down on the order book, we can see this. It was around $5,796.85. Not around, it was specifically that much, right? That was at 10:52 a.m. About, looks like 8 minutes later, there was a huge sell for $9,069, followed up by another transaction about 9 minutes later for another $1,700, and then mixtures afterwards. If we scroll through the more recent transactions, it's a mixture of buying and selling, but it seems to be more leaning towards the buy side. We did hit this bottom right here at 1995. Now it's hanging out at 2010. And it's obviously got a long way to go to get back to these previous levels before this major drop. It's on its third day in a row of being in the red. But with all of that being said, let's also look at something else that's very important to take away. As is highlighted by SafeMoon Army YT on Twitter, he says SafeMoon is strong and they're recovering 80% back. Check this list and you will understand. This is a list of the largest crypto hacks in history. And for a lot of these, what you'll notice is that the amount that was stolen was far more than what had been stolen from SafeMoon, for one thing. But the other thing is that there was no money recovered. Yeah, some of them have had funds recovered, but also look at how much of those funds have been recovered of what was technically stolen. So in that regards, it's not like this is the first time in crypto that you've ever seen this take place. It's not the first time that big names have also had this happen to them. So with that being said, I think we have to just look at it and realize it is what it is. And all we can do is look forward and make our decisions from here on out. Your decisions of what you want to do with this are up to you. They identified what the exploit was. It's been remedied. The liquidity funds, 80% of it looks to be coming back. And there's a series of products the community is waiting for SafeMoon to deliver on in the near future, which could potentially bring a lot more attraction to the projects and to the cryptocurrency itself. Some speculation is that the app update that was announced a couple days ago, possibly it was also delayed due to them waiting to resolve this. I think that is possible after seeing this information. What do you guys think about all this? Do you think that now that this information is out, now that there was that huge sell-off that took place, that we're going to start seeing all of the hardcore SafeMoon community members, they're going to start to rally this thing back up because it's like, well, okay, now that that looks to be out of the way. Plus, I think there's a good question that remains. When they put this back in, what's that going to have as an impact on the SafeMoon price charts? Will it have any major impact? What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments down below. And that's what I got for you guys in this video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz. And also thank you to my YouTube members for your support. God bless. We will see you in the next episode.